Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. I am Dr. Sandrilla and I'm excited to share something special with you today. Recently, I had the opportunity to conduct a faculty development program at my institution on generative AI tools in education and research. It was a great session where we explored how AI is revolutionizing teaching and research. Since many of my friends, colleagues, and educators couldn't attend the FDP, I wanted to share the key insights here on my YouTube channel so that more people can benefit from these powerful AI tools. Okay, so in this video, I'll introduce some of the most impactful AI tools and how they can enhance teaching, automate research, and make learning more engaging. So, if you are a teacher or a researcher or just curious about AI in education, stick around till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more educators can explore these amazing tools. So, let us dive right in and explore into our first slide. So these are the contents that I'm going to discuss with you today. So that is what is generative AI, what are its types, what is the history of generative AI, how it is going to work, and what are the tools that is available, and what are the challenges that we face. Okay, so here, what is intelligence? Before we begin, how would you define intelligence in your own words? Maybe there may be many responses. So let's consider a simple question to test our understanding. Okay. So here I've given a question. Which of the following demonstrates intelligence? A calculator solving a complex equation. Option B, a sunflower turning its head to follow the sun. Option C, a dog learning a new trick. So I know you all will think on this and you give an option. Many of you can give an option A or many of them can give option B and C. So whatever it might be, intelligence is often associated with learning something, adapting and problem solving. Okay, so let's analyze each option. When I consider option A is a calculator solving a complex equation. Yes, a calculator follows programmed instruction. It does not learn, so it is not intelligent. So when I go to option B, a sunflower reacts to sunlight due to biological mechanisms because it has phototropism, and this is also not intelligent. So I'm going for the another option C, a dog learning a new trick. This involves memory, adaptation, and problem solving. So this is what is called as intelligence. So this is a simple example that shows that intelligence involves learning and adapting. So now we have a basic idea of intelligence. So let's take a real world example, a self-driving car. So I have another question also for you. Do you think a self-driving car is intelligent? Why or why not? So is a self-driving car intelligent? I've given few options here. Option A, yes, it can navigate complex roads. No, it's just following pre-programmed instructions. Option C, it depends on how we define intelligence. Okay, many of you have confusions even here. So this is an interesting debate actually because self-driving cars can adapt to roads, but they don't think like humans. Option A, let me explain you. Option A is true to some extent. Self-driving cars can handle complex tasks. Option B also is true. They follow machine learning models trained on data. Option C, This is the best perspective. Intelligence is a spectrum, and AI's intelligence differs from human intelligence. Okay, so this discussion leads us to a key question: how we define intelligence in machines. So let us explore further. So we came to know what is actually intelligence means. According to Stanford University, intelligence is ability to learn and apply suitable techniques to solve problems and achieve goals. So now let's consider a modern factory robot. It is precise, fast, and consistent. But is it intelligent? No, of course no, because it doesn't think. It only follows predefined instructions. Okay. So here, what makes human different then? We have reasoning skills, we have critical thinking, we have problem solving skills, the ability to communicate effectively. These traits define intelligence. Now, here's where artificial intelligence, that is AI, comes in. In AI, we enable a machine to imitate human intelligence. It can do some of these things, but not all of them. It is very important to remember, is it does not have same understanding that a human has. Okay, always we have to remember that AI does not have the same understanding that a human has. Okay, our topic is generative AI. Okay, we have not still touched on what is generative AI. Okay, so there's a definition given here. What is artificial intelligence? A branch of science and technology that is devoted to the creation of machines that learn and think as intelligently as human being is known as artificial intelligence. So today we are looking into two main branches, okay, AI and generative AI. As we have discussed, artificial intelligence, which as we have seen is a broad field focused on creating machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Okay, so let us go deep inside to this. What is generative AI? We have to know. Now we came to know what is intelligence, what is artificial intelligence. Now we are in a position to know what is generative intelligence and generative artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence. Okay, so here if you see, AI is the overarching category. Okay, within AI we have machine learning, which is a subset of AI that focuses on enabling machine to learn from data without explicit programming. Then within machine learning we have deep learning. Deep learning uses artificial neural networks with multiple layers to analyze data and learn complex patterns. Okay, so this is what is the hierarchy of artificial intelligence. So I can also say that machine learning is the subset of an artificial intelligence, and deep learning is also a subset of artificial intelligence. It is a specialized form of machine learning, is called as deep learning. So when we see here deep learning, we have a specific area called generative AI. So when you see here, you know, in deep learning we have this generative AI. It is a type of deep learning that focuses on creating a new data such as text, images, or music that is similar to the data it was trained on. So here, it is important to notice that generative AI overlaps with supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. This is because it uses all of those learning types in order to produce its results. Okay, so this is what is the major thing that artificial intelligence does. So focusing on the core difference, let us pass on to the next slide. Artificial intelligence versus generative artificial intelligence. So here, both types of AI make predictions, but the way we predict is fundamentally different. So think of a traditional AI. It is like a detective solving a mystery. It analyzes clues and evidences to arrive at one definite answer. Will it train today? Yes or no? Is this email spam? Yes or no? It is a single direct prediction. Point to a single square icon. See this single square that represents a single focused prediction of traditional AI. So when we are coming to a generative AI, it is called as a continuous prediction. Okay, so this is single prediction. We have only a single block or a single square icon. Whereas when we are coming to continuous a generative AI, which is called as continuous prediction, generative AI is more like an artist creating a masterpiece. It doesn't just give one answer. It explores a whole range of possibilities. Say, for example, if I'm giving it the prompt, something like which is given here, once upon a time, or I'm going for a shopping. Okay, so what happens here is it keeps on generating a continuous prediction what is the next word that is going to come. Okay, and we'll also take an example of thinking to write a story. Generative AI can come up with multiple sentences, paragraphs, or even entire stories, each building on the previous one. It's a continuous flow of predictions. So here points are multiple connected square icons, and these icons connected squares show how generative AI makes a series of predictions, creating a continuous output. You can also use analogy of the light switch versus a dimmer switch. So another way to think about it is with light switches. Traditional AI is like a simple on and off switch, whereas generative AI is like a dimmer switch, giving you a whole spectrum of brightness. Okay, so this is the history of generative AI.
From the early 1930s to the present day, groundbreaking innovations have propelled the field of artificial intelligence forward, revolutionizing language translation, chatbots, content generation, and more. Join us as we embark on a chronological exploration of...
Okay, now, how does generative AI work? This is a very important thing that we have to know. So here when we see a user provides input, hi, I would like to set a reminder for 3 p.m. tomorrow. This represents the human interaction with AI. So here what happens, it is processing by AI. Okay, so this is the middle section of the learning stages. So here the AI processes the query through 3 different stages. The natural language lateral learning process, which is in this green circle. Here it understands the human language, that is machine natural language processing using NLP. It converts the sentence into binary data for further processing, and then comes to a red circle in the center, which is a deep learning. So deep learning model analyzes patterns in the data, and then AI determines the intent behind this query and generates a suitable response, and then goes to a blue circle, which is machine learning. This processed data is converted back into meaningful text. The system learns over time to improve responses. Finally, it goes to a bot reply. The AI generates a response. Sure, your reminder has set for 3 p.m. tomorrow. The chatbot successfully interprets and processes the request. This is how it works. So now let me tell you, how does generative AI work. So here it is mainly based on just copying and pasting from the internet. So audience may respond with different opinions. So generative AI learns from massive data set, and it doesn't just copy text. It predicts the next word based on the probability, like how we complete sentences in our mind. Okay, so this chat GPT, our GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer. Here, the generative means it can create a new text. Pre-trained means it has learned more billions of text files from before responding. And transformer is the AI model that determines the most likely words to come next, making the responses natural and meaningful. So if I type once upon a time, the AI predicts the next words based on the probability. So maybe there was a king. It doesn't memorize, but rather learns patterns from the past data or the previous data. So here generative AI does not just repeat information, it creates new content based on patterns and probabilities. And one good example is ChatGPT. Let me tell you how it is working in the real time. So here, when we prompt a text, user inputs a prompt or question into the chat GPT. So what happens? The deep learning algorithm analyzes the prompt and generates a response. And then the chat GPT identifies the keywords and phrases in the prompt to understand the context of the question. And then it accesses its database for the information to find relevant information related to the prompt. And then using the natural language processing, it generates a response that is grammatically correct and contextually relevant to its dataset. And once it is done, it presents the response to the user who can choose to continue the conversation or provide additional prompts. So this is the basic thing how a generative AI works for a text. So this is as end result of Gen AI. So here let's take an image generation as an example and explain how generative AI works.